Hello, and welcome back to Ventures with Them. So weigh-in this morning, I didn't really lose anything. I was still kind of holding steady. Didn't gain anything, but I didn't lose anything. So I'm hoping we get back to seeing more of the loss in the morning. We will definitely keep updating on that, but I feel good. And I've noticed that when I get up in the mornings that my fingers and stuff don't feel as stiff and swollen kind of like they used to. So I'm still fasting during the day and still just eating like a few of the pork rinds and a little guacamole in the afternoons, and then eating a sensible meal for dinner. And then as a dessert before I go to bed, I'm eating some of the plain non-dairy Greek yogurt with a little bit of fruit and nuts in it to tie me over, give me a little bit of that sweet taste without actually eating a dessert. So I'm doing well. I feel good. I did have a little bit of headache, a little nausea feeling the other morning. And I think it was because I took all the vitamins in the morning. I'd said I wasn't going to do it, and I did it to see, and it did. So I definitely will be taking all of my vitamins in the evening now. I never got sick, just didn't feel quite as good as what I had been, so I won't be doing that again. I'm going to keep all those for evening time after I've eaten an actual meal. So after dinner or right before I eat my dessert of yogurt, that's when I'll be taking those now. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about today is some more of the actual foods that I have here that I eat all the time and love. I just kind of wanted to show some more of the ingredients of it. So today we're going to talk about Japanese food. So if you like eating sushi, ginger, soy sauce, things like that, I'm just going to kind of give you an idea on what to do if you're going to one of those restaurants. Don't get me wrong, that's one of my favorite places to eat. And I even keep a lot of it here at the house because we make sushi here at home sometimes. So one of the things I wanted to show you is the ginger. So the sushi ginger or the pickled ginger. So this is the one that I got. This is the one that I really like the taste of. And this one just came from Walmart. But the ingredients on the back of it, when you start looking, it tells you everything that's in it. It's not a huge long list, but the first ingredient is ginger and the second one is water. So that's really good because that's where we really want it to be. The next one is salt, and that's okay. Then we have citric acid, and then the next thing is aspartame. Well, aspartame is one of the things that we definitely do not need to take in. It is one of the sugars that is not good for us. So sadly, I'm going to end up putting this in the trash, and I will be looking for a good natural organic pickled ginger next time I go to the store. So for now, we're not going to be able to use it. One of the other things that I use a lot of is Sriracha. Now this is just the Sriracha that comes from Walmart. I love it. It's got a good heat to it. I use it on almost everything. And then I got to looking at the ingredients, and oddly enough, I couldn't find the ingredient list on this bottle for a while, and then I realized it was over on the other side where it actually talks about how good it is for you and stuff. It's below that one. So it's here, but it's not with, here's your nutritional facts, and usually they're with it. This one is actually kind of over here in all the why you should eat this area. So I got to looking, and the first ingredient is chili, because this is a hot chili sauce, and so that was good. But the very next thing is sugar, and it has quite a bit of ingredients in it. So we go sugar, salt, garlic, acid, potassium sorbate, potassium bisulfite, and it just keeps going on, and xanthan gum. It just keeps going. So I know I now can't have this anymore, so this is also going to have to go into the trash. So this is another thing that I'm going to have to look more for an organic or natural type. So those two I'll be researching. And as soon as I find some to replace these, I'll definitely let you know what brand I'm going with. But for now, I'm not going to be able to have those, sadly. So one of the other things I wanted to talk about was the sweetener that I got while we were at Walmart. So I'm trying to stay away from adding sugar to anything whenever possible. But sometimes things just need a little sweetened kick to it because they just don't have what you need. And there's not a whole lot that we can get other than fruit that have that. So I have gotten to where I'm drinking coffee without adding sweetener to it. But sometimes I want the coffee and I just need a little drop or two just to kind of get it, because some coffees have a bitter taste, especially if you're using decaf or half calf and things like that. And so I wanted to have a little bit of sweetener of some sort for days like that. So I ended up getting this Pure brand. And so you may be wondering why I got it instead of, say, just regular stevia or something like that. Well, this is actually organic sweetener, and it's a liquid extract from the stevia leaf. And it's just called Simply Sweet. And so when you look at the ingredients on the back of it, it just says that it's water and organic stevia leaf extract. And so that's why I went with this one, because it was the most natural, pure sweetener that I could find at the time. So I will definitely keep looking for other options. I know there are others out there, but I'm trying to stay away from sugar, and I'm trying to stay away from the man-made sugars. So that was something that it's small, it's just a pop top, so you just do the little squirts. So it's something that I could just put into my purse, bag. You could even put it in your pocket if you're going somewhere. It's small enough to be able to take it with you. So one of the other things that we picked up while we were at Walmart was I knew I was going to get some of the raw nuts while we were there, the macadamias and walnuts. But when we went through Walmart and you go up to like the homemade bread type area, the muffins, the like the deli cheese, not the cheeses in the actual cheese area with the processed cheeses, they have a good assortment of nuts up there. So we ended up picking up these also. They're the mixed nuts and they're raw. And one of the things we want to stay away from is peanuts. And a lot of your mixed nuts have peanuts in them. And they have sunflower seeds and stuff like that really aren't that good for you, that I'm staying away from. And so this one has almonds, cashews, walnuts, hazelnuts, and pistachios. And all of those are on my list of clean, good nuts. So they have the good fats that are in there for you. And so yesterday's video, we talked about the fats, and I had it on there showing you like which kind of fats that you want, which kind you don't. Well, these are good fats, so these are the ones that you want to take in. And so those are a few more of the items that I picked up that they really weren't on my list. The Pure was, but the nuts weren't. And then I wanted to show you a couple of other things that I pulled from, this was in my refrigerator, that I'm going to be throwing away due to the fact that they're just not what I need to be using. And I don't want to be having sushi night or anything like that and pick up the ginger and start eating it and then realize that I made a mistake and I shouldn't be having it. So I wanted to share that with you. And so one of the other things I want to talk about is exercise. So last week we were doing 10 minutes of walking in place, or 2 minutes of 5 intervals of walking in place, trying to get our exercise in. So this week, I talked about it last week a little bit, that we could do like our arm lifts and things like that. So this week, on top of our 10 minutes of walking in place, we want to add in those arm lifts. Now you can do them both at the same time if you want to, or you can do it at 2 separate times and get you even longer of a workout time throughout your day. So if you do your 10 minutes of walking in place and you're swinging your arms, That's going to get you a good workout in, especially when we're not getting any workout. So now, after we get through with our 10 minutes of walking in place, even while you're sitting down, if you want to just add your 10 arm lifts, you can go straight out. You can also go straight up. Adding this in, this is a whole nother motion that's good. It'll stretch out the shoulder. It'll help you to gain more length for you to be able to do things and reach. Then you can take them and go out. So you can go out this way and out this way. If you even feel good about it, you can go both out with both arms, and you can do small circular motions with both arms. Maybe do one arm at a time to start with, and do maybe 5 or 10 circles. And then move over and do the other arm and do 5 to 10 circles. Whatever you're doing with one, just make sure you do with the other also, to where you're building up the muscles the same in both arms. Yes, we have a dominant arm. You're going to have one arm that's going to feel like it's probably not as hard to do. The other one will feel like it's a little bit harder to do, because that's going to be your non-dominant arm. So you may have to push yourself harder to get the same as what you're getting on your dominant arm. So, and another thing I wanted to talk about is going out to eat. So I know we can get really good control over what we're eating, what we're taking in, how we're doing things when we're at home, because we can see our ingredients. We're working with our ingredients and all that. So when we go out to eat, what do we need to do? How do we need to do this? Well, as I've talked about before in, I believe it was the first or second video, I'm not really sure. Just make sure you're watching them all. I talked about how we really don't know what's going into our food when we go out to eat. So the best thing you can do is order what looks like the best thing for you. If you have questions, definitely ask. If you're getting something that is cooked in an oil, it's sauteed or anything like that, ask them what it's being sauteed in. If they won't answer that for you, then I probably wouldn't order it. And if they don't know, they can always go to the kitchen and ask the chef, or ask the manager to find out. Because if they're not willing to tell you, I probably wouldn't order it anyway. So one of the other things is what about when we go to these fast food restaurants? So that's one of the things that I'm going to be working on today, is getting information together about what can we eat and what should we eat when we go to different fast food restaurants. One of my favorite places to go is Starbucks. Very expensive. I don't really get there very often, but when I am on the road, I tend to go there a lot. And so it's just kind of one of our go-to things. We know we like the taste of it. We usually know what we want to order. We can usually go in and order quickly and keep going. So one of the things that I'm going to be working with today is trying to figure out, we have a trip coming up. What can I order from Starbucks that's not going to kick me out of my fasting? What can I order at Starbucks that's not going to be high in sugars? What can I order at Starbucks that's not going to be high in lactose? So, if we're trying to stay away from, say, milk, or we're trying to stay away from just sugar, whatever it is, we really need to know what we're going to be getting. So I'm going to be researching all of their options today. And so in tomorrow's video, I'm going to talk more about what we can get at Starbucks. And then I'll try to go through and do a few more restaurants throughout this week, because we definitely need to know, what is there out there for us. If we go to McDonald's, we can pretty much know that there's not a whole lot we're going to be able to get there that is going to be within our area, except for maybe the salad. And so just keep that in mind if you need to go to, say, McDonald's this week, before we get the chance to talk about what is actually the best for us to get. Definitely go towards their salad areas if that's an option. I would rather you take in the vegetables and like the grilled chicken than I would you to say take in the hamburgers and things like that. So that's the area that I'm going to stay in. I'm also going to be looking at places like Taco Bell, Chick-fil-A, like I said, McDonald's, Wendy's, Arby's, any of the places that I can come up with, I'm going to try to work in. And so as the week goes this week, you'll be able to see what I suggest for clean eating. Does that mean that you need to order that? No. Does that mean stay away from everything else if that's what you want? No. You do what you want to do. You don't say you can't do it because I said it. This is what I am going to do as far as clean eating goes. This is my clean eating journey. And so your clean eating journey, you can definitely use the information that I'm giving you because this is all my real-time, real-life information. But don't think you can't have something just because I didn't mention it or because I don't eat it. If you have any questions about something though, definitely leave me a message, leave me a comment. Let me know, hey, I'm going to this restaurant. What can you recommend? I went to this restaurant today and I ate this. How bad was it for me? You can definitely leave me any questions that you would like, any comments that you think would be good. Make sure that if you're joining the journey, that you write a comment below and say, join the journey. If you're following along, just say, hey, I'm following along. I can't wait to find out the information. If you have information that you would like to leave, please do. Hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm using. This is what I found. We would love to hear it as well. And as always, if you sell products or recommend products that you think would be really good for this, leave them below and let us know because we want to be able to try them as well. And so anyway, I just wanted to go over where we are today, tell you a little bit about what's coming up for this week, remind you about your exercise and adding a little bit extra in this week. So with that being said, you have a wonderful day.